Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I want to reach out to all of you out there and see how all of you are doing. I hope you were able to get out in nature somewhere and definitely get some sun and make sure, especially depending on where you live, make sure you get plenty of water. You don't want to get dehydrated. Also, I want to make sure that you're taking good care of yourself, that you're loving yourself. Make sure you be kind, not only to yourself, but other people, you know. So anyway, I do want to reach out to all of you and, make sure you are, like being kind to your husband or wife or your girlfriend or boyfriend or your family. If they're out there supporting you, make sure you're being the right way, to them by supporting them back and loving them, So anyway, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome, and you can find me on my YouTube channel at Starlight, and that's Kathy with a K, Dingman, Kathy with a K, Dingman. And you could give this video a thumbs up. Plus, you can share this video with a friend or family. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Whoops. And don't forget the notification bell. And you can also leave a message down below. Plus, you can actually follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight. Also on Facebook at Kathy with a K, Dignan Starlight. So those are 3 ways you can leave me a message. So anyway, this is kind of a hard video that I know, like I've had this title for ever since I went to New York City. I thought of this title. So this is not an easy video to make here. And because I do know and I understand that there are people out there that might be going through this right now. I mean, as I speak, because it happens a lot more than we even want to even admit to. It is a lot to do with people that are having a problem, like maybe that they had a really horrible background, like a childhood, or, you could have gone through some horrible stuff with relationships. And this is for guys and girls, of all different ages, you know. So anyway, like I said, this is not an easy video to make, but I do care about these people, and so I want to reach out to all of you. If you're going through this, if you're going through some hard times, and the title, you did click on this title, and so that title has to be what it is. It's like, do you wish you were never born? That's the name of this title. I already know what the title is, and you do too, because you clicked on this video. And I want to reach out to you because I know you might be going through some hard stuff in your life, and a lot of it does stem from, like your childhood, where you might have been brought up in a really crazy way, where there's times that you might have done nothing wrong. You didn't deserve anything that happened to you, where, so you might be like where I was when I was younger throughout my whole entire life is, why did it happen? Why did that happen? Why did this happen? Why did that happen? And it is something because I didn't understand, but really, and really sometimes I still don't understand all that stuff, but I do and I don't, So for my name, Starlight, and that is the reason why my name is Starlight, is because I understand that, we are all made out of stardust. It is in our body and stuff like that, and the doctors do know about that we are part of the star system like that, and that's where starlight comes from. So I am a star seed and a light worker, and You know, it is kind of weird. I can't remember a lot of stuff, and then the things I remember I don't want to. But, you know, I do remember, you know, it is hard when you've gone through a horrible childhood, you know, where you'll never forget all about that stuff, you know, like, or whatever happened. And, you know, there's some boys go through a lot of horrible stuff, you know, like when they were little, and girls go through, you know, a lot too, you know. So you might be an adult now, or, you know, and it's kind of weird. When I was a kid, they, you know, I swear they had it upside down and backwards, really, you know, because they were always telling me to watch out for strangers. They never told me about watching out for my own family members, you know. So that's where you gotta really watch out for everyone, you know, the ones that are closest to you, the ones that you don't know, you know, everyone. You know, you can't automatically assume that the person is safe, you know, and that's why I made lots of videos before about, like, if you have kids, you know, have the hidden cameras. Don't let anybody know about it. You know, you need to protect your kids. You know, you don't want to hand your kids off to just anybody to babysit your kids. You know, there's times that parents need a break and they get desperate. They want to go out to the bar and hang out with their friends or whatever. You know, maybe they got pregnant by accident and, you know, they were having a fun time, and then, you know, they ended up getting pregnant, you know, where they ended up, now they're a mom, you know, or a father, you know, because he got her pregnant. And now it's like, huh, you know, like, we were having so much fun before the kids got in the picture. And now we're parents and we want to still go out and party, even though we have kids now. You know, that's where a lot of things do happen, or, you know, where the parents are the ones that were doing something horrible to the kids, or their brothers or sisters could have been doing something horrible to the children, you know, that were being brought up, or relatives outside the family, or even friends of the family, you know. So as a child, you know, like, if you're really young, you're not going to know and understand that the do's and don'ts. And, you know, these days it's a lot different than when I went to school. You know, I don't know what age group they start teaching little kids about bad touch, good touch. You know, and that's a hard thing to you know, to explain that to your kids. You know, I had to explain that to my kids, you know, when they were little. And, you know, I felt really ridiculous talking to my son. I never wanted my kids to be in public school. Absolutely not. But I was a single mom and I had no choice. I had to go out and work and make money, or, you know, like, we were not going to make it, you know. And so anyway, with that is that, you know, I had to send my kids to school. It was going totally against anything I ever wanted to do. You know, was I had to talk to my son, you know, his teacher at the time, and not saying that everybody is like this, but only God knows, is that, you know, like, my son's teacher, not to, and I don't have anything against these people, you know, is that, you know, he kind of acted like he was gay. You know, he walked it, he sounded it, you know, so to me it was a big, huge red flag. And it doesn't matter if a guy is married or not. That doesn't mean that he doesn't swing both ways. You know, so a lot of people will have a wife or somebody because it's a great cover-up, you know, where nobody would ever expect it. You know, so don't be fooled, you know, by guys that are married. And if they, you know, but sometimes it is possible that there could be somebody that's not gay, you know, and has that voice, you know, talks that way. I don't know what causes them to be that way, or even to walk like they are gay, you know. So, so I really dread my son being in school because of his safety, you know, and it was hard for me to walk him to school, not knowing if he was safe in the public school or not, you know. So, a lot of different things can happen to little kids growing up. Either they're being beaten, or, you know, somebody is sexually doing something to them in all different sorts of ways. You know, it could be, and I can't say little. There's no such thing as a, you know, it might be a tiny little thing or a little thing, because there, you know what, it all matters. You know, like, so there might be kids out there. You might be one of those kids out there that, you know, like, you know, maybe you're, you know, like, you know, maybe your dad or your mom is doing things inappropriate with you. You know, it could be all kinds of stuff, like, touching you in an inappropriate way. You know, especially if mommy and daddy, well, when mommy's not around, you know, maybe daddy is touching the females in a wrong way, or even the son. You know, this happens for all the different sexes these days. Or maybe, you know, like, you've been beaten, you know, either by your mom or your dad, you know, or verbally abused. You know, there's also, like, psychological, like, you know, where they're, I don't know, it does mess with your headspace, you know, where people do play mind games with their kids, you know, confusing them and, you know, calling them names or neglecting them, you know, not being there for them, leaving them alone, where a lot of things could happen to your kids that way. You know, you can't really, you know, like, you know, like you might have been left, you know, like, by yourself and maybe had somebody to babysit you and maybe they were not safe for you, you know. So really I did do want to reach out to kids on this video, is because there are a lot of kids that even these days go through that kind of sexual abuse or verbal abuse or physical abuse, you know, like, or neglect, even as much as, you know, people are getting more, you know, they're reporting that stuff more these days, you know. So, but there's some people that are really sneaky. You know, sometimes those kids are being threatened at home and say, you know, to their kids, like, hey, you better not say a thing or I'm going to beat you, you know, for you running your mouth. If I ever get a phone call from the school, you know, and they, you know, and it's sad because the kids really love their moms and dads, you know, and the kids can go through so much hell at home, and it is so weird that they have so much love, you know, where they might not, they might even know that they're going through something that's not supposed to be, you know, they might cry a lot because of it, and they don't ever want to report that to their, you know, because then who's going to take care of them? You know, who's going to be the one to, where are they going to get their food from? And that's what happens to a lot of little kids, is that they don't know where they're going to get their food from. You know, like, what would happen if mommy and daddy got arrested for what they're doing with me? You know, like, they'd be in jail. My mommy and daddy would be in jail, you know. And if you're a kid out there watching this video, you know, like, I don't even know how you would have found me, you know. But really, when it comes to that, to really what I want you to understand is, if you're a kid that's going through stuff at home, whether it's daddy or mommy that's not doing stuff that's good for you, you know, maybe they're touching you inappropriate or beating you, is that, you know, the best thing you can do is to report it one way or another. You know, you got to find a way, because then, guess what? Your mommy and daddy can get some help, you know, and you will be taken care of. And it might take a little while, you know, like, for you to find a good family to help you through this. And of course, when that happens, you need to talk to, like, a therapist or a counselor, so you can get through and to, you know, like, to get through what you've been through. You know, so if you are a kid and you're watching Starlight, you know, the best thing you can do is it will help you out and it will help your mom and dad out, you know, and they, more than likely, you know, and they do have laws these days, and I can't remember, but like if something happened like so many years ago and, you're maybe an adult, but they do have certain laws out there that you still can do something about it. But really the best thing to do is to report that stuff while it's happening. That way then they can investigate right away. It's kind of hard to prove anything if it was 10 years later, you know. Um, so if you're even an adult and you have gone through this stuff, because this title is about like, there's a reason why you wish you were never born. It could be other reasons. If it's not about being abused as a kid, it might be, about being, like sexually messed with by adults. Like either you knew them or you didn't. Could have been a stranger. Maybe you got yourself in a bad situation without thinking. Sometimes it's what happens. Like sometimes, the weather really can do a lot of crazy stuff to people, to be honest with you. And, like after winter, a lot of people go bonkers after, like the snow starts melting away and they finally get to go outside and get some sun and, they don't have to wear a coat anymore. It does some funky stuff to guys and girls. And, so guys will be going out there looking for chicks or guys of these days, and girls could be going out there looking for guys or girls, whatever you're into. And it's all up to you. I can't tell you how to live your life, but you know what the way God really intended all that to be. So anyway, is like with all that, you really need to seek counseling if you've gone through stuff, and there's ways that you can really get help. It is good to reach out to, especially a therapist or a counselor, somebody that doesn't know you. That way they don't go around and tell other people about your private issues, unless you do know a person that is not going to go and tell anybody. And that's the thing, is that, when I was younger, like, I was so desperate to talk to somebody, and I wasn't so wise on who to talk to. I was inside crying, looking for help, and, I told a lot of people the crazy stuff that happened to me as a kid because I didn't know what to do. So you don't really want to do that, really, but you do want to seek counseling or therapist, where you can get like a one-on-one. And it might take a little bit to find the right therapist or the counselor. Find one that really is a good fit for you. Other reasons why people wish they never were born is because the way they look. They don't love themselves, and it could have a lot to do with the way they were brought up too. You might have been called names, like you're ugly or you're fat or, you're stupid. It could have there's all kinds of names out there that people could call you, that makes you feel less human, and maybe you're like me where I never fit in, and you might think, oh, well, you're so pretty. Well, you know what? Just because I'm pretty, I'm not like the other pretty girls out there either. I don't look at my outward appearance so much as the other way other people look at my outwardness. I have a beautiful heart inside. That's what you want to focus on. How is your inside? If you're not happy with what you look like on the outside, maybe it's the weight, or maybe like the way you look at yourself in the mirror, is that, there are other people out there that might not be happy with the way they look. But if you have a bad attitude about how you look, or maybe you might judge other people and, like get angry with beautiful girls or good-looking guys, that is going to be a problem in your heart space, where your heart is going to tighten up. And it's not a pleasant feeling when your heart, your heart space, where you are envious of other people or jealous of other people or hate. I don't like using that word, but if you hate other people, because that you think, oh, they look so much better than I, like the way you think you look. You think Starlight thought she was always beautiful? Absolutely not. You know, I did. I couldn't stand myself, really. And it had a lot to do with my, what was going on the outside of the way people, oh, sorry, name calling and all kinds of stuff. So you don't want to be hard on yourself, and you don't want to hate other people for the way they look or be jealous or envious, or maybe you want to do something wrong to somebody because you want them to be in pain like you are. That is not going to help you out. And what I didn't know, and like I said, I never felt like I fit in here on this planet Earth. And I have to say, I really still don't feel like I really fit here. Um, like I really, when it comes to friends, like, to be honest with you, I really only have one person that really gets me and understands me. My family don't even get me. I have kids. I have a mom and a dad. They don't fully, like, understand who I am. Why am I the way I am? You know, um, I'm into UFOs and aliens. Like, it's kind of funny being like that. Where there these days it might be more common, to be into that kind of stuff. I love, like, to talk about not the everyday stuff, but I like talk about all kinds of stuff. To the point sometimes it gets me in trouble. you know, um, I always like talking about interesting things. Learning about stuff. You got to find out who you are, and you got more about you that you don't even know. You got power in you that you haven't even touched. That I learned that in the Bible that we do. We have power in the blood. There's the royal bloodline, and then there's the Jesus Christ bloodline. And there's all different blood types out there. And what I didn't know is, because Starlight tried to enter her life a lot. I mean, more than I want to admit to. Where even though you might see me as being beautiful on the outside, it didn't really matter to Starlight. It was what was going on the inside of Starlight was the problem. It really had nothing to do with no matter how, like right now, no matter how I did my hair or cleaned up or whatever, it didn't matter to me. I'm not about the outward appearance. It was what was going on in the inside of me. It's what was going on. And, I do have a special friend out there. And what he taught me, which was kind of weird, is because I just couldn't wait to get off this planet. And, I didn't realize that I was a part of something even bigger than myself. You know, um, so the universe has you here for a reason. You have a big part. If you were like a black sheep of a family, you know, um, like I can understand how come I never could fit in at school, at church, with my family. I was always like the outcast, the black sheep. And it's not, you might think you're ugly, but it has, like it is something. We are in the matrix, whether you understand that or not. So everything around you is not what you think it is. And if you're young, you might not know what that means yet, but in time, it will make more sense as you get older and understand, like what is the matrix and all that stuff is, your reality is not really the reality you think. And, God has a purpose for you in life, like a light seed, a star seed, or a light worker, like, we all have a past life, like, maybe, like this, like I told my kids, maybe this is your first time being here on planet Earth. Maybe you don't remember anything, like, I'm really into aliens and UFOs, and So what I was being taught is that I was learning is that, like when you got here, your memory got wiped, where you can't remember your past lifetime because it would be like you're cheating. And apparently I agreed to coming back to this planet Earth. Would you believe that? That I agreed to this, and I agreed to, and the only way I would be able to get back to planet Earth was to get born through a dark, like, negative family line or whatever. I don't know how to word that. But like a family that are carrying a lot of things in their bodies from their DNA or whatever, through their ancestors, that I had to get born through a family like I did get born through, So Starlight did go through some, like her life has been like hell. I can't like put it lightly, really. And so with that is that I had to go through all that stuff is so I can actually change that stuff, So everybody's got lessons in life that they have to learn, and so their lesson in life, whether they learned it or not, their lesson is to not to do what they did, and you might have gone through stuff and you didn't do anything wrong to anybody, and and that is a very hard thing to actually go through, is when you didn't do anything to nobody but they did it to you, and you try to understand that, and it's that like you will get through this, but you've got to be strong. You can't like and that's why it's so important to get therapy, also there I made I'm going to make more of these videos about like meditation. Meditation will really help you out to really clear a lot of negative stuff out of your body. Really my favorite meditation person, now I got other ones out there, is Steve Noble, the Soul Matrix guy, because he will help you with guided meditations to heal a lot of that past trauma that you have in your body, and it goes deeper than you even can imagine. You might, of course, if you've gone through some horrible stuff as a kid, you're going to need to get healed. And you gotta not think about the way this world is, the matrix of thinking about being a Hollywood star and all that. You know what? Those people go through some stuff you don't even know what they go through. They don't have it easy. They make it look easy, you know. And you believe me, you're not going to want to be a Hollywood star, And so don't try to compare yourself with the Hollywood people out there. That's the whole trick of the Matrix, is to make you think that, we all want to be like them. And that's how I was my whole life, thinking I wanted to be a singer or dancer, like make lots of money and entertain, to be an entertainer, to help people in life, like, so you really do, you want to, I know this is getting long for a video, but you got to understand is that God has a purpose for you, and if you were born in a family like mine, then, you've got to, there's a job for you to do here to help the planet out, and like my friend said, is that you're here, like I wanted to get off this planet. I even signed up for to go to Mars. That is how ridiculous this got. I begged really to get off this planet as quick as I possibly could. And this is all like, really around the time of COVID, really, it's amazing all the things I've been learning before that time of COVID. Around that time, though, is that, I felt lost and didn't understand how come the universe didn't take me out of here and, send that UFO out here, pick me up and take me away. That's all they had to do, just get me a ride back out of here, you know. But really, I'm in here for the long haul. I gave my word, like, and I don't remember, but I do. I have a big part in this world, is to help other people out that have gone through some horrible stuff in their life, to let you know that you do have a purpose here in life, and God does want to use you to help other people out through what you've gone through, to help them to get through that, because you have learned stuff that you can help other kids out, other families out, so you can, you are a part of the new world. There's, the 3D and the 5D. So, and that's what I'm a part of, is to be a part of the 5D. And it's a love frequency. It's not the 3D where it's the negative frequency, which 3D is the third dimension. That's where most people are, you got to raise your frequency up to that 5D, and that is the fifth dimension, and that is by loving yourself. And I never loved myself really before, so I have to really thank Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart, for showing me that I really did. I needed to learn to stop running around, helping everybody else out, and leaving myself last. So now, I've been learning to do some self-love, where now I take care of Starlight first. First I listen to what the universe wants, and then, after that, I have to work on me. And that's by meditating, doing yoga, keeping track of what your dreams are about, so you can get messages and all that stuff. And, and if you are that type of person that has tried to end your life, please do not. I have tried many times and failed at it. And, and I am so grateful really that I didn't achieve that, because I wouldn't want to redo this all over again. That is one of the things I have to say, is I wouldn't want to have to go and get born through another family, like I was or did go through, like to ever to go through that, like to get to where I am now. So I've been going through a healing, and so I've had to let go of the past, let go of all that stuff, and focus on the right here, right now. And you have to. It is not easy to do at all, and it does. It takes a lot of time, like to be able to let go of the past and to love those people, that did wrong to you, and you got to forgive them, because if you don't, then it's, you're affecting your heart. And not only that, it's like if you're, like if you're in a house and you start building, like, there's some stuff in the Bible I was learning before, and I was like, oh, wow. And this is what you got to watch out for. Sometimes what we do is that we want to keep ourselves safe, and so we start building up a wall, and we're not even aware of this, really. We just want to keep safe, like we are aware, but we're not aware. It's like kind of a 50-50 thing, where you might start building a wall, and it's like around your heart space, but you're like, your house really is like represents you, so you're trying to protect yourself, trying to keep people out, and then you build the wall so high up that there's people on the outside that are out there trying to help you. And you're like, no, I'm building up my wall. I'm building, and that's about like your heart space that you are building up a wall. It might be a brick wall or whatever you're making it out of, but guess what? You actually closed yourself in, and now nobody can come and help you, because your heart space is closed off now, and now that's why you're feeling the way you do. Like I had just a couple of days ago, I was going through something, and you gotta not believe all your thoughts, because that will mess you up. It will mess you up. You can't believe all the thoughts that come in your head, because you're not gonna, you're not always right. There's thoughts that come in your head, and you might think you're right about something, and then you find out you're wrong. So you don't want to listen to your thoughts, not at all. And that's what I was going through, is that I was observing my thoughts. But, what I noticed is kind of funny is I know there's chambers. You got like chambers in your heart, and I really want to look this up to understand this more about your heart, is because it's kind of like, say if you had this big heart, well, hang on. It's funny, Starlight always has something around. So here's a heart. We'll just stick that here. So there's your heart, and say, like, this is how I felt the other day, is like, ooh, half of my heart, right, in my chest area here, this side of my heart felt tensed, felt tight. And it's not a good feeling, because when you're thinking the wrong kind of thoughts, your heart then you got emotions that go along with that. And, so actually, if this works, there we go, is, so, like, half of my heart and my chest, spot here is, felt tense, felt squished up, because I was dealing with the emotions of some thoughts that I had, and you're not your thoughts and you're not your emotions. Those are all separate from you, and it's hard to understand that. And it's kind of weird. This half of my chest area, for some reason, I go through this even when I meditate. I got to figure out why this happens. Is So it's hard to, like, with your heart chakra, to feel both sides of the chest area with your heart chakra, to clear both sides. Sometimes I feel like I'm only clearing one side, but I do know that there's different chambers. I believe that's what they call it on the heart space, is that when you closed everybody off, nobody can actually help you, like, to help you to open this up, like, so all this is all, there's something beautiful inside your heart space, but you can't get there because you got it all closed up, nobody can help you to clear all that stuff, it could be really dark in your heart space, and nobody can come and help you to clean that up because you blocked everybody out, and so that you can feel horrible feelings in your chest area and your heart space, because you gotta release all those emotions out of your heart space. That way you can breathe. And guided meditations are very good, like, to help you to clear it, so you can open up that heart, like, and then release all that negative energy, like, that you have been storing in your heart for who knows how long, by not loving yourself, not caring about yourself, not, like, like, taking time out for yourself, or, maybe you're always worried about what other people are thinking. All that stuff affects you in your heart space, and making you feel like you're less than a person. So yeah, you're not going to want to feel like you wish you were not born, because you're not loving yourself. You need to really take time out for you. And it's not about the outward appearance. God does not see how you're outward. He created you, but really it's the heart is what he's focused on. It's not the outward appearance. There are so many beautiful people out there in the world, and I've actually watched a new tarot card guy, and if I was going to judge him on the outward appearance, it wasn't even about his outward appearance. When I heard him talk, it was his voice, and how he spoke. That touched my heart. I was like, aw, and it had nothing to do with the outward appearance of that man at all. Was I attracted to him? Absolutely not. But his heart, he had a beautiful voice, so you got to think of the things that you have going on, and don't listen to those thoughts. I'm telling you, those thoughts are going to put you to your grave, really. It's going to lie to you. You know, those thoughts are going to lie to you. It's going to try to deceive you and thinking that you're not beautiful because, you know, like, you're going to have to clean up the inside, you know, clean up that heart space. You know, like, you know, you've been hurt. You know, you've build walls around it. Nobody like me can come and help you out if you shut me out, right? Um, God loves you so much, and the universe does love you so much. And the universe would love to see you where your heart space is open, you know, but you do have to protect yourself. That is right, you know, and by protecting yourself, you just got to really be thoughtful of the kind of people you spend time with. A lot of times when you don't care about yourself or you don't love yourself, is what happens is that you put yourself in really risky situations and places because you don't love yourself. You know, maybe you hang out with the kind of people you know they're not good for you, but, you know, because you feel like you're not worthy enough, is that you hang out with the wrong kind of people. You know, you might do the wrong kind of things, you know, drugs or alcohol, you know, all kinds of stuff out there. You might go to places or even listen to the wrong kind of music that is not going to help you out. And but you really do. You need to love yourself and work on yourself. Look in the mirror and tell yourself that you love yourself. When is the last time you said, "I love me"? When is the last time, like right now, I'm going to give myself a hug? You know, just give yourself a hug. You know, or find somebody that you know, like that really does love you. You know, and that is not going to go around and talk about anything that you say to them. And if you don't have that kind of person, really, you want to go out to seek therapy. Or, you know, I'm not a therapist. Right now, I feel like a therapist to my therapist. It's kind of funny. I'm teaching her things that she did not know. You know, so I'm having a great time. You know, I feel like I'm the one that's the teacher now, you know. So she's got lots of questions. You know, we get an hour, and it's been interesting. It's kind of funny. I am teaching her stuff now, and she asks me questions. It's like, huh, you know. So I am not a therapist, but you know, you can reach out to me on Instagram, and don't be afraid to, you know, reach out, tell me something, talk to me, speak to me. Really, I'm not going to judge you. You know, I would love to hear from you. You know, guys or girls, I have a big, huge heart. You know, I'm the type of person that if you really seriously have something that you want to talk to me about, I would even do that on a video chat if you would like. I would go and do that for you. And I'll tell you what, I don't do that with everybody. You know, so that's one of the things I do want to do is do video chat. It's just I got to figure everything out. Sometimes Starlight gets a little occupied and kind of forgets what she is supposed to be doing or wants to do. You know, live is it's probably way too early for Starlight to do a live. You know, I really don't know when is the right time to do live yet. You know, until the universe is anytime. You know, if I get that no, it's anytime. Oh, okay. Well, I would have to have something to talk about then, right? So anyway, I do love all of you, and really, if you are struggling with who you think you know you should be, is I want you to be yourself, and I will have lots of other videos out, you know, like about things that I've been learning, and really, I'll tell you, you ought to check out Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart. He is the guy that got me to where I am right today. You know, the universe used him, you know, and the angels, they guided me, you know, because we are all one. We are family. You know, you are a part of my family, and I'm a part of yours. You know, some of you might not agree with that, but that's okay. You have a right to your opinions, but we are all, you know, together. We are a big family. Um, and it doesn't matter about the skin color, you know. So anyway, I do love all of you, and I am sorry this is very long, but it's a very important video. So this is Starlight, Love and Light.